Good morning, my name's Sarah.
I'm Elliot.
And we're from the School of Dentistry, and we're here to talk to you today about suturing at home. So what do you understand by suturing? Now, I'm going to have to stop for 1 second because I'm sensing that a video hasn't appeared on your screen. Is that correct? Okay.
I can see it.
I can see it, yeah.
You can see the video. Okay. Teams is just allowing us not to see it. That's grand. Okay, so suturing is clinical stitching in the mouth after oral surgery procedures like tooth extractions. It's a very practical skill that requires the synergy of basic science knowledge with developing manual dexterity through deliberate practice to try and master this skill. And the widely accepted approach to teaching suturing is tell, show, do model, operationalized in an assessment for learning framework. And suturing is a skill that's deemed necessary for graduating students by dentistry's governing professional body, the General Dental Council, who provide us with the learning outcomes required for registration as a dentist in the UK. So therefore, the ability to suture is an essential requirement for the safe practice of dentistry. Our undergraduate students here in Liverpool traditionally undertake simulated suturing in small groups using an artificial skin pad. The teaching staff observe and provide feedback by the school's longitudinal developmental tool, Lift Up, which is aligned to the principles of programmatic assessment. Following this, then, our students are able to demonstrate this skill in a supervised clinical session. Our students, though, have faced challenges when it's come to developing their suturing skills. We know that they've had less experience in recent years due to restructuring of clinical sessions. We know that the written feedback that they've been provided with has been suboptimal and not supportive of a longer-term reflective practice. And we've never actually evaluated teaching of this key skill. And then, of course, COVID-19 further complicated the situation by limiting the face-to-face simulated and clinical teaching opportunities open to our students. But we chose not to focus on problems and instead to try and find some solutions to these challenges. And we've developed a brand new initiative, which we've called Suturing at Home, which is based on an online learning activity using bespoke resources we've designed using an evidence-based flipped classroom approach. Our initiative proposed giving students sharps needles to use at home, so crucially we had to undertake a risk assessment. And due to the rather large expenditure, we had to write a business case to try and justify our approach. At the beginning of our term, then, we provided each of our final years with a suture pack and a student agreement for the return of the safe used sutures. At the start of each month, I recorded and edited a new suture technique video, which I released to the students along with hints and insights. The aim was to expose our students to a variety of authentic, real-world clinical scenarios to consolidate their knowledge and skills with respect to different clinical circumstances. And to ensure consistency and then the staff feedback, we've undertaken a calibration exercise. And our students had 1 month to practice each suturing technique at home before recording themselves, placing the suture on the pad we provided. They then uploaded this video via a newly designed digital platform for feedback, and this platform allowed staff to complete the same feedback that they would have traditionally completed in face-to-face small group teaching. And this is our suture packs that we provided to our students. So we had 3 sutures, a skin pad, which is C, some sticky dots, which was B, and that's just simply to secure the pad down, a small sharps container that we used to transport used sharps back and forth from the school for swapping each month. And this was my setup at home with some lights that I found in the attic and wished I had dusted before taking this photograph. I recorded on an iPad and then learnt to edit in iMovie, and this is what I do each month in preparation for a new suturing technique video. And at the beginning of each month, I launched the release of a new suture on Teams. These are very short videos that are designed to appeal to this generation of learners who typically prefer visual learning aids, normally 2 to 3 minutes in duration. And our students became just as resourceful. When we started tutoring at home, we asked our students to contact us if they foresaw any barriers to filming. For example, could the student loan them any recording equipment if needed? None of our students raised this as a concern. This is an image taken from one of our student videos, and we can tell from the number of sutures placed that they're practicing more and more before finally recording a video to upload for feedback. So we've got a key element of deliberate practice. And this is one of our students uploaded videos. It demonstrates how we're increasing the complexity of suturing they do compared to what they'd experience in face-to-face simulated teaching. We provided them with a cardboard cup to introduce a confined space within which they must suture to try and represent the mouth.
Okay, I developed a bespoke portal for staff to be able to see students' sutures and leave feedback. On the screen is a demo of the software I created. Staff log onto a developmental portal and navigate to the suture feedback section. They're then presented with a list of students. Clicking on a student's name brings up their video and a copy of the feedback form that is used on the clinic. The platform has been designed and built to be user-friendly both for staff and for students, providing consistency in line with the same feedback mechanisms that they're used to on the clinics. After staff have left feedback for students, it is then automatically integrated into LiftUp, our daily/portfolio to drive reflection and development. Last, so Suturing at Home has been an opt-in following our launch in October last year. At this time, 97% of our students chose to engage and perform a single interrupted suture. In all months that have followed, over 80% of students each month have participated, despite there being other and increasing demands on their time, and 75% of students have opted in every single month.
To enable a comparison of the experience that we would normally expect to see from undergraduate students, we drew data from LiftUp. If we look then at the period on the left-hand side from October 2018 to January 2019, our students placed 105 sutures and received only 14 items of written feedback on LiftUp. This was very similar then to the following year. If we look at the time period this year, a similar number of sutures have been placed at home, so we've avoided losing any of that experience with reduced face-to-face activity. And strikingly, the amount of written coaching feedback has increased 22-fold. Significantly, when face-to-face teaching did take place, 48 sutures were placed, and there was an improvement also in the amount of feedback that staff have provided compared to previous years, perhaps as a result of the habituation on their part. In order to evaluate our new teaching initiative, we undertook a survey of our final year students, which had a response rate of 90%. 100% of responders believed that suturing at home had improved their suturing skills, and they watched the new suturing video each month to prepare. 91% believed that suturing at home had increased their confidence in preparing to undertake a suture on a live patient, a key hallmark of Curriculum 2021. 64% believed that they practiced more than they might have anticipated if they were actually on clinics, and 95% stated it was the best aspect of suturing at home was the ability to practice as much as they wanted, one of the key elements of deliberate practice. So this initiative has provided our students with the tools to accumulate more hours practicing activity, videos of the ideal standards to aim for in a safe practice, and expert feedback for reflecting on their performance during the academic year.
So what's next? This model has proved successful locally within the context of dentistry, and we're disseminating the concept nationally. However, it can be further expanded upon. Suturing is a key skill across many disciplines. Not only that, the concept of remote learning can be extended beyond undergraduates to postgraduates and for continued professional development. This is a typical cost of a postgraduate one-day suturing course. Perhaps suturing at home could be rolled out to generate resources for the faculty and to enable course delegates to participate from home. So we've talked to you about suturing from home whilst we've all been working from home, and this initiative should really encourage us all to consider what more we can do from home to maintain the student experience and skill. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah and Elliot. That was fantastic, so interesting. Has anyone got any questions?
Me? I have to tell you, is this approach that you've adopted? Is it something you've invented, or have you seen it done before?
Yep. Something that we came up with. We recognised, well, what obviously dentistry is a very practical skill. We couldn't, when we were all at home, give our students patience. So we thought, well, what elements can we give them to maintain dexterity and maintain some skills? And in actual fact, we've managed to further expand their skills probably than they've ever had in this in this one element of suturing. We've now it's now something that we're sticking with. So it was something that we had to really adopt as part of COVID, but it's now something that we've given them now to our fourth years, and it's something that this is now being designed into our new curriculum, that this is how we will ensure that we teach this skill.
Really impressive, fantastic. It's a great start to our lightning talks. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stephen?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good talk there, guys. I just had a quick question. So, have you looked at, or have you thought about looking at how those who engaged more with the suturing at home, how they performed on resumption of the face-to-face teaching compared with those who were less engaged? Has there been much difference, or have you looked at that yet?
So some of the students won't have necessarily had the opportunity to demonstrate suturing when we've resumed face-to-face. So obviously our clinics have been very, very limited. So it's not, if they've had perhaps 2 or 3 clinical sessions, there mightn't have actually been an appropriate time. But anecdotally, what I can tell you, because I do a lot of the undergraduate oral surgery teaching, is that the students are now biting at the bit. So they will now suggest to me, oh, do you think we need a suture?
Yeah.
And I'll say to them, okay, well, you know, what do you want to put in? And they'll go, oh, well, we did this one. Do you think that would be appropriate? So I know that they're, you know, they used to be previously, if I'd said to them, okay, we need to put some stitches in here, they'd be like rabbits in headlights. But that has gone for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thanks, Stephen.
Waleed?
Yes, not a question, just more of a comment, really. I really, I'm really encouraged when I hear things like what you just said. You said this is something we had to do, but now it's something we want to continue to do because it's giving us a better learning experience. And isn't that amazing? You know, we adapt. What was the word? Reimagine, revise. But now we have a better procedure. That's really really good. That it's not often that we get cases like this. So I was really happy to see that.
Thank you.
Gail?
Excellent.
Hiya, it was only a quick question, really. I find all the stats and everything were amazing. I think that's really brilliant, the engagement of the students. And what I found really good was the huge increase in the level of feedback you've been able to give them. I was only wondering, when we get back to campus, will that be manageable, sustainable? I'm just thinking of workload for you all. It's obviously a huge increase in it, and it's great that the students have got extra practice time on their own. But do you think you'll be able to keep up that kind of level of feedback?
I do. Realistically, you know, we receive, and Elliot works wonders in disseminating this to the 6 staff. So we could theoretically increase it. We've got, you know, more staff starting. We could say, okay, well, we'll now have, instead of 6 member staff, we could roll it out to 8. And the staff are given a month to watch, you know, the 9, 10, 12 videos that they have. And so in between times, I do think it's a manageable volume of work. But I completely see where you're coming from, trying to juggle.
I think that's amazing if you can keep that up. I mean, the students clearly are really benefiting from it.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing that you can give that kind of level of support. So well done to you guys.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much for that. That was a fantastic start. Yeah, really good. And this is why we love doing this conference, because we get to kind of find out about what you're all doing, and this amazing sort of example of good practice, and yeah, doing things completely new. So thank you very much, Sarah and Elliot.